Shelly-Ann Solomon is an award-winning entrepreneur, mentor, and digital strategist from Trinidad and Tobago whose work is revolutionizing how Caribbean women approach entrepreneurship and global brand building. From launching her business with just $40, through focus and faith, she flipped this into 7 figures and now teaches women across the Caribbean, US, UK, and Africa to build global brands through her widely acclaimed Life by Design framework. Shelly-Ann also helps women turn burnout into balance and transform passion into profitable, purpose-driven brands. Her stories has captured international attention, earning her 30-plus media features, including multiple cover stories, viral interviews, and the prestigious 2025 Caribbean Posh Icon Woman Entrepreneurship Excellence Award. She's now one of the most influential voices helping Caribbean women build global businesses with authenticity, emotional intelligence, and feminine strength. Shelly-Ann, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And you're looking beautiful this morning in that yellow. Oh my, I love it.
Thank you. And good morning to you and the entire beautiful island of Antigua. I love it there. So it's a privilege to be on here with you this morning.
Look, Shelly-Ann, your journey from just $40, $40, $220, $410 to a 7-figure is incredible. It's incredible. But what was the moment that changed everything for you?
I looked around and I realized that I was busy with all of my roles as a mother, a wife, an employee, and I realized that I was visiting my daughter's life. I was around her, but I wasn't really spending a lot of quality time with her. She was always close, she was always near, I was always present, but I wasn't really present, if you understand what I'm saying. So I decided that something had to change. I had my mom present. She was a present mom. You could talk with her. Something happened at school, she was there. If you had a problem, she was there. If you were sick, she was there. I was at work. And when I wasn't at work, I was at church or I was at home taking care of chores or elevating myself in some way. So it was always about the next task, get her hair combed, give her a bath, give her a meal, get her ready for school, get her ready for bed. It was very few moments where I was really sitting and enjoying being a mom. So that was the first turning point for me. Well, I have about 3 turning points. So that's where it all started. But I've been in business for 25 years. So you would imagine that there were many points of pivoting for me. The second point was 4 years into, so I chose entrepreneurship. Let's go back to that.
Yes.
So I chose entrepreneurship because I saw that that was an option around me. There were women around me. We know historically in the Caribbean, women were always doing some kind of side hustle. So we saw that example. So I knew that that was an option. And growing up in church, I sang a lot. So that was the option that I took, and I built a performing arts academy. That is the business that I flipped the income from 40 to 7 figures. So that was exciting. But how that happened was not because I started off with that intention. I just wanted some income so that I could still be at home and still have some financial independence. But 4 years later, my husband, with the intent of helping me to elevate and become a better businesswoman, he funded my award show. At that time, I would call it a recital. And he's at the 4th year, he said to me, listen, I'm not going to help you fund this anymore. This business has to stand on its own. Now, at first, I was a little thrown back because like, you're my husband, why wouldn't you want to help me? But what he was trying to teach me, because he's also an entrepreneur, he was trying to teach me to build the skill, the behaviors, and the mindset that will take my business to a point where it could stand on its own. So if I always had someone to lean on, that never forced me to push my business to its next level. It was always in survival mode. What that did for me, it caused me to become creative, innovative, upskill myself, focus on customer service, because now I had to not only run this business and have income to spend for myself, but it had to have enough money to fund the recital, or after a while it was the award show. I took that award show to the Queen's Hall as well as Napa, the performing arts. So it started in my living room and I took it all the way to the theaters. So that was a lot of income. So I went from asking him to fund me or loan me a couple $1,000s, like 3, 4, sometimes 7, to closing off an award show at $157,000 paid in
Wow.
cash. And that was because he pushed me to become a woman that was focused on not just surviving in business, but succeeding. So I had to develop focus, tenacity, resilience, business acumen. I had to keep growing and elevating. I studied my market and I really pushed. So it wasn't really about the $40 if the women are looking on and you're wondering what miracle did she perform. It really was about tenacity, focus, courage, and consistency, and not ever giving up on yourself.
Now, would you say that with that push for everyone, whether male or female, that you do need that strong support in order for
Yes.
you to make it, or because sometimes you realize that that support is teaching you rather than bringing you down, because sometimes we take things the wrong way.
Yes. So sometimes we look at a no as a negative thing. And maybe the intention of the person might have been negative, but sometimes you have to change your perspective on how things are happening around you and to you and work it in a way that works out for your best interest. So for me, I saw the no as a platform that will propel me into my greatness. I looked at it as a challenge, but support is very, very important when you're building a business. My husband never stopped supporting me. He has always been a great support. If you go back and you look at the 14 award shows that I produced at Queen's Hall and Napa, he was the face of those awards. He was the main voice that people heard, you know? So anything that I want, even my women's business conferences, he is there. He's right there. He's letting me know anything goes wrong, honey, I will be right there. I will make it right on stage because he's also a speaker, right?
Okay.
So my husband is always there giving advice. So you do need a community that is supporting you. But when you get into your inner courts, it's very, very critical if you have a partner, you have family members, that they are also encouraging you and energizing you both physically, mentally, spiritually, to keep moving, all right? You can't have people oppressing you in your inner court. So I would say, yes, it's critical. I mean, like very, very, very important to have inner court support.
Ah, beautiful. Now, Shelly-Ann, you speak a lot about the human side of entrepreneurship. What emotional and mental battles do Caribbean women often face when building businesses, and how can they overcome them?
Well, I said before, I've been in business for 25 years and I've only done coaching, majorly coaching, speaking, and consulting. So some of the things that I see repeating itself over the 2.5 decades would be a lot of Caribbean women struggle with the battle of comparison. They compare themselves to other people. We compare ourselves to competitors. That's why I have an unpopular perspective or philosophy, if you will, about not obsessing over competitors. Yes, you need to know who they are, but don't obsess over them. They will kill your creativity. That action, not they, but that act of obsessing over competitors will kill your creativity. It will cause you to shrink because you're always feeling like you're behind. It's going to dampen your ability to be innovative, and it's going to dull your uniqueness. So in order to show up as you would like to show up and build a business the way you want the business to go, you can't obsess over competitors because you will become a copycat, and that's never going to be good. When I did my business, I started it that way because that's best practice. Study your competitors, know what's going on, stay on their tail, you know, things like that. But then I became exhausted mentally, and I always felt like I was running on a hamster wheel. Once I said, okay, I know who they are, I know what they're doing, now it's time for Shelly-Ann to show up. When I look back about 3, 4 years later, I was ahead of the competitors. And even when I retired from the Performing Arts Academy, I am still ahead of my competitors and I am retired. So I'm saying to people, stop worrying about competitors. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You have value to bring. There is something special and divine about you that the universe needs, that the world needs, that the Caribbean definitely needs, right? So show up and don't worry about competition or anybody else. The second thing I see is the fear of judgment and the fear of failure. Listen, it doesn't really matter who judges you. You get up every day and look in the mirror and you assess what you did yesterday, and then determine in your heart and your mind to do better today and the days going forward. And failure is a great teacher. Doesn't mean that you are a failure. It just means you failed at that thing. What you do is not fear it, but challenge it, assess it, audit it, and pull out the lessons, and it will help you to set yourself up in a more strategic and effective way moving forward, because failure teaches you all the things that you don't need to be doing moving forward. Then we have cultural pressure. I call it cultural coding.
Woo, that's a big one.
Yes, it is, because growing up in the Caribbean, we have a lot of cultural coding. Don't show up too brightly. Don't shine too brightly. Don't speak up too much and don't speak up too loudly. Don't be too visible. Just keep shrinking. Anything that comes across as too much, it was communicated to be showing off, boastful, not humble. But the thing about it is, in order for us to shine globally, we have to speak up. We have to speak up loudly. We have to speak up frequently. We have to speak up strategically. People need to hear us. People need to see us. People need to know about our experiences, our culture, our expertise. They need to know that we are Caribbean and we are competent, we are capable, we collaborate, we celebrate each other. There is something unique and beautiful about being Caribbean. Don't dim that. Shine, so don't worry about all the cultural coding that tells us be good, but not too big, shine, but not too bright, succeed, but not too much, keep it quiet, don't boast. And then the other thing I would say I see a lot would be burnout, because we try to do all the things by ourselves. We try to silently build a business on our own. I would say that's shooting yourself in the foot. That's going to stagnate your growth. It's going to affect your mental and your physical well-being. And you should get help, and you should get into a community. So those are the 4 things I would say that I see consistently showing up with regards to Caribbean women in business.
Listen, and those are all the major 4 points. Trust me, right then and there, especially competition, judgment, failure, all these sorts of things, and putting the pressure on yourselves. Now, but let me ask you this though, what does it truly take for Caribbean women to build globally competitive brands in 2026?
Well, I touched on that just now, right? Mm-hmm. I always say with high levels of excitement, listen, your Caribbeanness doesn't mean that you cannot break through borders. You cannot cross the ocean. You may not have to leave your island to do it, because we have the internet. We can do that digitally, but you can also do it physically, right? Mm-hmm. The only way I can say I love Antigua is because I've been to Antigua a couple of times. I've been to most of the islands, all right? I have customers and clients in 30 countries across 14 markets. I am telling you, as a Caribbean woman living on an island, you can penetrate borders. You can. But the first thing you have to do is you have to believe that you can. And you have to trust that you are capable and you are competent and you deserve a spot on the global stage. If you think you do not deserve a space, or you think that you will not be accepted because you are Caribbean, you have already worked yourself out of the ability to accomplish that goal. So there are 3 things that I focus on. Authenticity. So that's your personality. That is the way you show up, the way you speak, your branding, also your Caribbeanness. All right? Your culture is an asset. Always remember that. It's not something that's going to put you in a corner and people will not take you seriously. When both my husband and I walk into rooms, doesn't matter where in the world, we don't shrink, because we know that we had to work 10 times harder to get there. It's okay. Acknowledge what it requires to get there, do the work, and then show up confidently. But do so in your own authentic state. Don't try to be anything else. You are Caribbean, be Caribbean. All right, the second thing I would say is emotional intelligence. Leadership is not about being bossy or showing off or commanding respect. Leadership is about building relationships. It's about being empathetic. leading from example. It's not what people see on the outside. It's what's going on with you in your private time. How are you working on your emotional intelligence? How are you working on your ability to regulate self, to elevate self, so that you can lead those people in a constructive and healthy way? So I'll say work on those. Digital strategy, definitely in
Have
today's
to.
day.
Must. That's a must.
Digital strategy. And as a digital marketing specialist, one of the things I've learned is utilizing the online space and capturing as much digital real estate as possible is one of your best gifts right now in this climate as an entrepreneur. You will grow faster, you will go further. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because as any business model, it requires work, all right? So don't say Shelly-Ann said it's going to be easy, but it's easier. It's easier. And you can go faster and further because you have platforms working on your behalf. All right? So
Yes.
I would say to leverage the digital strategy, look at the world as your marketplace and not just your island. Make your Caribbean story global. Be intentional. So authenticity, emotional intelligence, digital strategy. Those are the three that I would say that you have to really go into. Of course, there are more things, but those are the ones I'd say you could start with.
Shelly-Ann, let's go back to some of the points that you made, and let me ask this: what are the biggest mindset or cultural blocks holding women from the global visibility and influence?
Well, we just touched on that. I would say that you have to take your Caribbean culture and merge it with global best practices. So it's one thing to say that we are competent and we are capable, but if we don't step up with regards to the quality and the effectiveness of what we do on a global stage, people will not take us seriously. So we have to ensure that we understand what are the best practices and merge our Caribbean culture with that and move forward.
Oh, I love that. Some powerful information here. Now, why is the community one of the most powerful forms of currency for Caribbean entrepreneurs?
Well, I always say community is currency, and I literally mean that. I would not be as successful as I am and have the reach that I have and been where I've been if it wasn't for community. Community will open doors to spaces and to people that you on your own may have never gotten access to. It will help you to access philosophies and perspectives that will take you further, faster, just being in the space of like-minded women who are also ahead of you. So you can leverage from their experience and from their knowledge and even from their philosophy and perspective. And you would open your mind to new ways of being and doing that helps you to accelerate your growth. Community helps you to move faster. It's like you have a tribe that's on your side and they are running out there and they are spreading the word and they are telling people about you. They are giving testimonials, they are referring you, they are validating you, they fight for you when you are not there, they speak on your behalf in rooms that you are never there and make opportunities happen for you. That's how I became the judge of the Gospel Awards of Trinidad and Tobago. Because
Okay.
someone was speaking in rooms that I wasn't even there, right? So by the time they got to me to ask me to be the judge, the decision was already made. It was really up to me now to say yes. So
Okay.
it's really, really powerful to be in strategic communities. But I want to remind women, we talk about networking a lot. And when people get into networking situations and spaces, their focus is sell, sell, sell. I would tell you to switch that a little bit to connect, connect, connect. Build relationships. Let the relationship mature. Don't just get into someone's space for the first time and because it's a networking experience or space and all you want to do is sell, right? Let people know what you do. Let them know how you help. Tell them the solution, but get to know that person and build relationships. I find when I am networking and I use that approach, I get better results than if I try to sell. You could sell all night and leave there without a sale, without a friend, without a connection. But when you make connections, you live there with community, and the community lives on.
I love this now. I mean, all my viewers are watching and listening so that they can redesign their businesses or life heading into 2026. But if there's that one woman watching right now today feels discouraged or stuck, what is that one message you like to give her before we go?
Your success story is yours to create. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It's up to you to create it. Don't listen to the inner voice that tells you it's too late, you're not good enough, and not now, and waiting on some miracle to happen, whatever that miracle shows up as. Remember that your success story is yours to create. So do it with confidence, courage, and class. The other thing I will tell you, it's okay to begin again. Sometimes we've been doing something for a long time and we think it's too late. Or sometimes we hit a milestone with regards to our age and we think we're too old. It's never too late. You're not too old to change direction. I changed my direction after 20 years in one market, right? And I decided, listen, something inside of me said, okay, it's time to teach what you know, not just build business, but teach other people to build business. That was a big shift to me. And I did that at the top of my game in the performing arts, right? That was scary, but I did it. And today, when I look back, I would say that was an amazing and effective decision. So don't think it's too late. Don't think that your time has passed. Just if you want it, go out and do it. Begin with clarity, access community, and move forward with certainty. And remember that God didn't create you to stay stuck. God didn't create you to stay stuck. You are Caribbean and you are capable. Let that sink in. You are Caribbean and you are capable. You've seen more, you've done more, and you can teach more than you think. Just assess yourself, assess your ability, search your mind, go back in time and look at what you've accomplished, what you would like to do, and keep moving. Discouragement is a natural emotion, but staying stuck is a choice.
And let me tell you, Shelly-Ann, thank you this morning. I know you're speaking for women and everything, but as a man, I'm here also taking pointers because we can model and mirror some of the things that the women are going through as a man too. So
Correct.
your wisdom, your journey, such deep insight into human experience. Just thank you. Continue to do what you're doing, and we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And continue to give praise to God for all He has done for you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.